So in this session, we are going to discuss about our third unit, that is treatment of water. So in the treatment of water, we are having various unit operations and unit processes which is involved in the treatment processes, and we are going to discuss about these things in this session. So, what is the difference between unit operations and unit processes? Unit operations are nothing but the primary treatments of water which uses the physical forces. Okay. So, but in unit processes, if you take that, we are using the chemicals to get the changes. Okay, that is to get the result, we use chemicals, but in unit operations we use the physical forces like filtration, like that. Okay, so the for some of the examples for unit operations are mixing, agitation, aeration, absorption, like etc. And for unit processes, it is the various processes are oxidation, nitrification, coagulation, and disinfection, etc. So these are the some of the water purification method which we are using to treat the water, to get rid of the impurities which is present in the water. And the sequence of the treatment processes may be preliminary, primary, secondary treatment. Okay, here there is a set of treatment which is available here. First of all, first unit is screening. Okay, so screening is a unit operation which is considered as the preliminary treatment which we given for the water treatment, and screens are nothing but it's like filter. Okay, so the thing which is used to filter the water to remove the floating matters like dead animals, leaves, branches of trees, so etc., which is available in the especially in the surface water resources. Okay, so while we are taking the water from the surface resources, we use the screens which is fixed in the intake or entrance of the treatment plant to remove the floating matters. Next one is sedimentation. Sedimentation is the process which is used to remove the suspended solids, okay, which is present in the water. So by means of by reducing the velocity of the water, okay, by means of the gravitational force, we make them to settled under the treatment process, that is under the unit. Next, sedimentation aided with coagulation means the first one is called as plain sedimentation, and another one is called as sedimentation aided with coagulation. That is nothing but the small, very smaller particles which is available in the water that may be colloidal, that is called as colloidal impurities, that may be fine clay. Okay, so that cannot settled by itself because the specific gravity of the particles are very very small. So by making them to settle by adding the chemical, okay, that chemical is called as coagulant. Okay, so we are using this technique. Next one is filtration. So filtration is the unit which is different from the screening. Okay, screening is the process which is to remove the floating matters, but filtration is used to remove the fine particles. Next, disinfection. Disinfection is used to kill the pathogenic bacteria which is present in the water. Pathogenic bacteria are nothing but the bacteria which causes diseases. Next one is aeration process. Aeration is the process which is used to remove the odor. Okay, odor is the smell which is caused by some of the components which is present in the water, and also the bad taste due to the volatile gases which is present in the water like hydrogen sulfide and all the thing, because hydrogen sulfide is the contaminant which gives the smell like rotten egg smell. Okay, so for that we are using the aeration processes, and also which is used to remove the iron and manganese which is present in the water, and to increase the dissolved oxygen content in the water. Okay, so for that we are using the aeration process. Next one is softening. Softening is nothing but to remove the hardness which is due to which may be due to the calcium carbonate or magnesium carbonate. Okay, so to remove that we are using the softening processes. So likewise according to the requirement. Okay, so the fluoridation, liming, desalination may be used for that purpose. Okay, so fluoridation is nothing but to remove the fluorine content. Okay, so the fluorine and all the salt content, to remove the salt content we use the desalination. So according to the characteristics of the water, okay, so because that is the differ from place to place. According to that, we have to choose the remaining type of treatment which is required for that. So these are the functions of the water treatment, and these are the various unit treatments which is given to the water, and what is the use of the unit treatment, and what are the functions. That is, the function is nothing but how, what the thing which is going to removed by means of these processes is given here. And first of all, as I told earlier, the aeration is the process which is used to remove the color, odor and taste. Screening is for removing the floating matter, and the iron and manganese which is removed by the various chemical methods. And hardness, to remove the hardness of the water, we use the softening processes. And suspended matters can be removed by plain sedimentation or sedimentation aided with coagulation. Then filtration is the process which is used to remove the colloidal dissolved matters. Then finally the pathogenic bacteria has been removed by means of disinfection process. So according to the type of water, okay, sources of water, we decide the what type of treatment which is required by them. Okay, so for that we need to characterize the water. Okay, the first of all, the groundwater or a groundwater with chemicals, okay, which may be from surface sources, okay, may require some of the treatment like aeration, coagulation. And if it is polluted with the pathogenic bacteria, then it requires disinfection process. Okay, so if it is the water from river or canal, then it requires complete treatment. Complete treatment is nothing but the set of treatment which we have discussed, that is preliminary, primary and secondary treatment which is required by them. Okay, so see, these are the treatment which is required according to its source. Next one is aeration processes. Okay, aeration is nothing but the processes which is used to remove the taste and odor, and moreover it is secondary treatment which is used to remove these things. Okay, so the various types of aerators which is used for this purpose are gravity aerators, fountain aerators, diffused aerators and mechanical aerators. So next one is sedimentation process. Sedimentation is the process which is used to remove the suspended solids which is present in the water. So we can remove the suspended solids which is present in the water by means of two methods, by that is plain sedimentation and sedimentation aided with coagulation. Okay, so the what is the difference between these two means the particles which is having some specific gravity can settle down by means of gravity while we are reducing the velocity of water. But the very fine particles which is present in the water is very difficult to make them settle down in the tank. Okay, so for that we are using some chemicals to agglomerate, to form the agglomeration, and to make them as a one particle, and make them to settle down. Okay, so the main purpose of adding chemical for that is to increase the specific gravity. Okay, so for a single particle the specific gravity is less, means by adding chemical we make 10 to 12 particle together. Okay, so at the time automatically the specific gravity of the particle may increase, and it start to settle down. That process is called as agglomeration and flocculation and coagulation. Okay, so that can be achieved in the next unit, that is sedimentation aided with coagulation. First of all, the plain sedimentation. So here we use only the gravitational force. Okay, so naturally we have achieved by reducing the velocity of water while it is flowing through this tank. Okay, so treatment process are nothing but we are installing various unit operation, that is units means the tank like structure. So according to its operation, it is called, the name is different. Okay, so the tank which is used to make the suspended particles to settle down is called as sedimentation tank. Okay, so that tank may be continuous flow type or intermittent type. Intermittent type are nothing but the water is allowed to stagnant for some time, and then we are taking to the next operation. But a continuous flow type is nothing but we are allowing the water continuously to flow into the tank, and it makes to that is it makes to settle over there for some time. That is called as detention period. After some time, it is the water is coming out of the tank, which may be brought to the next unit operation. The design aspects of the sedimentation tanks are the velocity of flow, capacity of tank, inlet and outlet arrangements, then shape of the tank. That is, first of all, we have to decide the velocity. Then, by means of velocity, based on the quantity, we have to find out the capacity of the tank, that is, volume of the tank. Then, we have to decide the shape of the tank. That is, accordingly, it may be circular or rectangular in size. So in the inlet and outlet, we are having the baffle walls. So this is called baffle walls. So the arrangement is provided to avoid the shock load, because the water, while the water is continuously flowing in the continuous flow type or in the intermittent type, the particle which is present in the water existing, which is inside the tank, start to settle down. Okay, so at that time, the water which is coming through the inlet may affect the settling of the particle already available inside the tank. Okay, so for that, to avoid the shocking load of the water which is coming into the settling tank, we are providing the baffle walls. This is a vertical walls which is provided at the inlet and outlet. So why what is the use of baffle walls in the outlet means to avoid the particle to escape. Okay, so for that we are using the baffle walls in the outlet also. Okay, so after that, the water which is stagnant over the tank, okay, so flowing through the baffle wall, and which may be brought to the next unit operation. Next one is sedimentation aided with coagulation. So, as I told earlier, here the chemicals are used to agglomerate the particle and to make the into settled under the tank. Okay, so here the chemicals may be gelatinous, that is, may be in the powder form or in the liquid form. Okay, first of all, we should know the terminology is coagulation and flocculation. Coagulation is nothing but the mixing of coagulant. That is, coagulant is nothing but it's a chemical into the water. Okay, so mixing of coagulant. And next one is flocculation. Flocculation is the process make the fine particles together. Okay, so it together, the particle together is called as flog. Okay, so to make them into a one particle. Okay, to make the colloidal particles into a one particle, that is called as flocculation process. Okay, so the coagulation, mixing of coagulant required, that is required the exact quantity of the coagulant, because if we add more, then our cost may be wasted. Okay, so for that we have to find out the optimum dosage of the coagulant which is required for that amount of water. Okay, so that may be 2 ml, 3 ml, like that. Okay, according to the need, we have to decide the quantity of the chemical which is used for this purpose, and that may be determined by means of jar test. The most widely used coagulants are the alum. Okay, that is aluminum sulfate is the most widely used coagulant, and ferric chloride, ferric sulfate, and sodium aluminate are some of the examples for the coagulants which we are using for this purpose.